Okay, g'day and welcome to Aussievision. I'm Dale.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're going to talk about the rehearsals. So most of the rehearsals are all done. Well, second rehearsals are.
Yes, for our semi-finalist.
Exactly. And so we are going to sort of not review all of them, but we're going to look at the ones that have been sort of hits and misses for different reasons, sort of ones that have kind of really improved or dropped a lot since that time. I mean, it is a little bit hard, isn't it, Mike, to kind of judge it from our living rooms?
It is. I mean, basically, we're working off really the clips that the official Eurovision channel's giving out, plus also Wee blogs. Obviously, they're doing quite a bit of filming,
a lot of content,
talking, and a bit of content coming out of there, and plus also what other people are saying and the general vibe of what people are thinking.
Yeah. So and our view on that as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's start positive, shall we, for a little bit of a hit?
Absolutely.
And I think maybe a bit of a talking point because of an animal sort of side of this one was Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan, my favourite equine entrant for the year.
What did you make of it?
Look, I really like it. I really like it. I mean, the song, we always said, how are they going to stage this? And they've gone for some fairly avant-garde staging and obviously the guy with the horse's head is a big talking point. But from what I see and the narrative I'm seeing in that, I really like it. It's going to be, I think, really compelling to watch. Really compelling.
Yeah, I mean, what about her writing on the wall? Do you like that?
Yeah, it probably is a little crazed. It can possibly come across as a little crazed,
yeah.
But I think it kind of works. And I think it's at the first third of the song they're encapsulated into that sort of chalkboard area with the horse or whatever, who does a little bit of choreography.
I know.
Yeah, we like the horse. Yeah. And then the walls drop, which can all be a little bit weird, but I guess it's a thematic art piece.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes with the song,
People are going to be talking about it. It's going to be one of those performances that go down. You're not going to forget it.
You remember it.
And it's a good song.
It is.
And vocally?
Yes. Let's talk about vocals. Let's just in general, though.
Yep.
I'm trying to ignore a little bit of the vocals because there seems to be some audio mixing problems for everyone, generally.
Yeah.
Having said that, some are missing a lot harder than others.
Yeah.
So, obviously there's a bit to tighten up on the vocals.
If they miss hard, it's obvious. If there's a little bit of dodgy, which I think slightly with Azerbaijan, I think it's like, don't even worry about that. It's too early on for us to judge.
And it just seems a mixing issue. The mix between her lead vocal and how much they're bringing in the backing vocal, that just needs to be ironed out. Yeah. But I really like it.
And look, the fans seem to love it. It got a lot of good positive feedback. I mean, there's been so many. I think Dihaj's horse has its own Twitter account now as well. So look, it's getting some buzz and it'll be a good performance. I like it. It's pure Eurovision. Fantastic.
Likewise.
Okay, should we look at a little bit of one that maybe didn't do so well? We'll call it a miss, and it has been, and let's talk about it. It's Blanche. It's Belgium.
Yes, Blanche. Do you want me to go start off on Blanche?
You can go.
Well, I mean, obviously we've had a second run through with Blanche, and it seems a lot tighter and a lot better. Apparently, the first one was a complete mess. Look, from what I'm seeing so far, I actually don't mind the LED backdrop and what they're going for. It's her. I'm sorry, it's her. She's not filling the stage. She is not exuding a performer's confidence. She looks frightened.
Do you think there's probably two parts, and I agree, and yes, I know she's 17 years old, but so is Isaiah.
Mm-hmm. And so is Christian.
Yep. I think what some of the reactions has been pretty harsh. Everyone has to remember these are just, these are artists out there, and there's human beings, and let's not go too harsh on her. But, no, I think, look, she's not really performing like anything near a winner.
No.
If it was a different artist, do you think we'd still be having the same issue? We brought up in the past that we thought this is going to be a very hard song to fulfill a kind of Eurovision staging for.
Yeah,
and lift it.
I kind of don't mind the LED or the geometry and the LED and the light show and everything. I think with a stronger performer, that can actually really, really work. From what I'm seeing so far, I hope, and she's still got another couple of run-throughs to go and everything like that, so it's not a complete lost cause, but from where it was sitting in the odds to where it is now, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
It's falling like a stone, and maybe Belgium have just put her in the wrong position, or or she's not handling the pressure or something. But it just...
The height was big. She's been pretty animated and quite good, like, on social and in press conferences and whatnot, but just on stage, she looks terrified.
Yeah, I mean, it's heading in the right direction, but are they going to be able to pull it out of the fire? We're only a week away, not even a week away.
Yeah, a few days.
And
it's not impossible for, I think, her to still qualify, but if she does it, God, she'll be sneaking it in, and I probably wouldn't be tipping it. But it's not impossible.
Yeah, no, totally agree. This could struggle to make it through.
Oh,
but we did think that at the start too.
We did. Okay, what about, and let's go back nice and positive again, and in the same area as our first country that was good, Armenia.
Armenia, yes. Oh, well, I'll go start with Armenia as well. I mean, if you look back at our reviews, we loved the song, and we really had hope for this one. It looks like they've got the staging spot on, really. It's a great mix of her, and she's compelling. The couple of backup dancers with some really creative sort of armography.
Do you like the little hand thing?
I do. And
what about her hands on herself while those hands are around her? I think it goes out. The geometry goes out or something.
Well, they've still got things to tighten it up a little. I like the way they've kept some of the ethnicity in the LEDs. And
there's so much.
There is. So this for me is a real win, and it goes to show you don't have to be completely wild and over the top with your staging and choreography for something to work.
Yeah.
And so far, this is really, really working for me to the point, and I'm going to say this, I would not be surprised if this wins the semi-final number one.
Okay, interesting.
I really, really do.
Yeah, true. Look, I think I loved this video, remember, that was my favourite video by far. I wouldn't say I'm disappointed, because it's great staging. I just think I had something really in mind that was like the same colour scheme and the same kind of dances as the video. But it is amazing. I'm not sure about the colour of the whole purple, but... It is fantastic, and I think it's just about, when you love a song so much and you get used to it, you just have to adapt to the change, and I'm just adapting at the moment. Okay. I still think it's really good, and it's definitely been a winner with the fans, and its odds have been rising. It's gone in front of Australia, for example, of in the betting. So it's obviously done really well out of it. So I really hope it does well. It's a great song. It looks good, and she's been really good on Twitter as well, speaking about it and what these means and all these patterns in the murals and these birds and whatever is in there. Like that's it's really showcasing what it's about. So I agree. It's been great. I like it.
I'm getting it. I'm feeling it. I'm liking Armenia. Liking Armenia.
Okay, this is another one we had doubts about going into it, and I think it's had mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people really thought it was a miss, and I think we might be on that side of things, and that's Greece.
Oh, yes, Greece.
Yeah, I think I'll chat about Greece a little bit, because I did predict in our little podcast that it wouldn't make the final and it wouldn't qualify. I think it's really on the cusp. I think there's elements that I really... don't mind about it. Obviously, the dances, they're eye-catching. I think, sometimes most of her vocals are really actually quite strong, and I like that she's kind of elevated and some of the effects with the rain and whatnot. But when when those high notes come in, and I don't know what's going on with like maybe the backup dancers or something, the singers, those high notes are so bad that it's so off-putting, and and then dancers and sitting up high on this thing, whatever that thing is, can only take you so far. I'm not sure if it kind of gets a bit dull after a while. Can it fill the whole 3 minutes?
Yeah, look, I'm kind of with you on this. I've written here, she's fairly standard. It's a pretty standard approach but then again, it's a pretty standard song, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
They haven't really thought out of the box too much about what they're doing. Having said that, she's great. She pops through that TV screen. She is good.
Well, she's an artist. Yeah,
she is really good. The rest of it, I'm underwhelmed completely.
Wow.
Yes, she has a rising plinth or stage or whatever, but what? Like, no.
I think we put it in a miss because it could have been so much more, because it wasn't the greatest song in the world. It's a pretty basic song, so you kind of had to go to town on it, and I think they just kind of didn't even get in the taxi.
And it's a bubbly, up-tempo song. It's wedged between Portugal and Poland. You could really make this pop with a good performance.
And it doesn't really pop, does it?
It doesn't pop at all.
It's just there.
It's just there, and it's, to be honest, it probably matches the song.
And to be honest, as much as I can sit there and say the dances are great, I don't think getting all the half-naked men out necessarily works at the time. Yeah. Ask Ryan Dolan about Ireland a few years ago.
So it's going to take more than a couple of shirtless blokes to make anyone vote for this, I reckon.
To take away the attention of those terrible high notes.
I'm trying to cut her some slack on that. As I say, a few people have had vocal issues, so fingers crossed it helps.
That one's pretty bad, though.
That is pretty noticeable, yeah.
Well, let's be nice about an act here. And, this is one that you're predicting big things about, even though you don't really like the song that much. It's Romania. It's certainly been a talking point this week.
Hasn't it? It's the splash of colour. It's the party song. And yeah, as you say, I'm not keen on the song, to be honest. I really don't like the song.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't like it. But what they've brought about this is they have done the big, colourful, over-the-top staging, which this big song kind of needs, this big novelty song kind of needs. So I definitely think it's in keeping with the song. It seems like it's just... I think when you watch even just the previews, you kind of smile because this is just so ludicrously ridiculous.
Exactly.
That it actually kind of works. And rather than shy away from it, they've embraced it and brought the ridic even more,
They know what they are and they've gone to town on it.
Absolutely.
Unlike Greece. It is a bit much. There's a lot going on.
I kind of want him to fall off the cannon also in the actual during the performance.
There's a lot going on,
is a
but
lot.
It's going to go down in Eurovision folklore. This song and this performance,
and it's going to be the one when they have the nightly news clips or whatever about Eurovision. This will be the one that they go 100%. This is the go-to clip. This is the ridiculousness you want.
And I think it's definitely guaranteed. There was, depending how they staged it and how ridiculous it was going to be, they've assured themselves a final spot. I think with the staging, haven't they?
I said in our review, I'm talking this one up. I think this has got top 10 written all over it.
Potentially.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Certainly not for the song because it's woeful.
Well, talking a bit of an out there song and going on the flip side again and onto our kind of a miss, and this is a bit unfortunate. I had high hopes for this guilty pleasure, Montenegro. Yeah. Did the horsehair work for you?
No, leave the horses with Azerbaijan, I think. This I've just got here, it's just ludicrous. And ultimately, the staging-wise and performance, it's just a weak concept. They've just sent him out there and said, prance around, swing your head around, and do that for 3 minutes. Well, gets pretty tiresome after about 20 seconds, to be honest.
It does.
And the rest of it, he's got 2 minutes, 40 seconds of him looking like a bit of a prat, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel sorry for him. Good on him. He owns it, and he really tries to work it. But, I mean, ultimately...
It's only so far you can go with that. It really is only so far. And I think it's been really unfair on him because I think he is a good performer.
Yes.
He is trying to make that... What do you even call it? A plat. He's trying to make that plat work as much as you can, but it's like a one... That's it.
If they'd given him 1 minute of that ridiculousness and swinging his head around and prancing around, 1 minute of that would have worked as long as he had 2 minutes of something else to work with.
Yes.
They've given him nothing.
Yeah.
They've just sent him out there with a few projections of himself writhing in the background. I think he writhes on his own face on the floor at one stage or something. But apart from that, it's just really...
And that is also talking about thematics this year. Having your old face on screen. What is going on?
Everyone's got their own
I think someone has been selling the same thing across every single country.
Totally.
Put your face on screen.
Thank God Lordy didn't do it in 2007. That would have given me nightmares.
Well, the good thing about Australia, because we've obviously got Isaiah everywhere, is that we're the very first country to do it. Which is okay in the semis, but in the final that may not be so good.
Absolutely.
If we're about the 10th country to come on in the final to do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, okay, well, we've gone on another miss here, but let's go positive again, and this is one of our favourites, Belarus.
Belarus,
Yes. Love it. Just, you know what, I had high hopes for it. I never expected this to be their staging, to be honest. I was thinking maybe foresty, maybe a reddy kind of green thing going on, a bit of like the Belarusian colours, but they've kind of gone for this, this boat kind of plane thing.
Hovercraft, I've written.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Space
it looks like a boat,
something.
but it's in the sky, because obviously we're seeing all the buildings go past it, but it's so charming, and they, as we've said before, are great live performers, and that comes across in their enthusiasm. It's infectious, and that's what you wanted to see out of it. I'm not sure about the propellers behind it, because it kind of looks like the wind machines have been unfortunately put at the back. Misplaced. And should be at the front. Yeah. But overall, I think you've seen the fans really get onto this, and this has really moved. It was outside of the odds to make it through, and now it's gone inside the odds to make it through. It hasn't mean that it's been a hit, that it's going to suddenly be, in the odds of top 10 song, but people are, I think, getting understanding it a little bit more now that they've got something to work with.
Look, I kind of agree with you. I don't really know where the whole staging is, the concept is, where they're flying through some city or there's some sort of real geometric things going on in the background. But I do like the little hovercraft thing. It kind of because
Well, you don't forget
it also makes the stage a bit smaller for them. They don't have to run around and fill a space.
That's a
They
very good
just
point.
Have to stand there and go on this journey and take you along with the journey. And what I really like is they've still kept that authenticity and the feeling of the song. It's happy.
Yep.
They're happy. You just get it. You just get how happy it really is. And I really, really like it. It works.
I think they could have gone out there and stood in front of microphones and still got through, because I really think it's them. You needed something else.
Yes, definitely.
So it doesn't. I kind of know what you mean. It doesn't really make a lot of sense if they're in the air, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but whatever.
No one knows what they're saying anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But whatever journey that they're on, I want to go with them. That's fantastic.
Oh, that's a really good point.
I
want to go.
Yeah,
you kind of want to be friends with them, don't you?
And they have a real. I mean, there's some duos that probably aren't working with chemistry wise this year. Those two, yes.
Some of the best chemistry I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, they just look like they're having fun and they like each other. They genuinely like each other, and off they go. Great.
Oh, it's good. I'm actually so pleased that's worked out.
Likewise.
Okay, and then we go for our little ups and downs. We're back down again on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Probably, I think the most disappointing for me. Not that I love the song, but wow, they just did not bring it. It's Serbia.
Yeah, look, I mean, from what we've seen so far, it's just a bit of a snore. It's a bit of a yawn fest here. Everything's very safe, she's in too deep. Let's do water references.
Yeah.
Wow, that really works. And to be honest, I don't mind her. The shots you see of her and everything, and I'm not sure about that white dress, but she's emoting, but then it's just... How long has this got to go, really? That's what you're thinking when you're sort of seeing it. I really think it might struggle to make it out, and I was a big supporter of Serbia getting through because I like the song, but...
I think it's terrible. I think it's probably been the worst rehearsal, not in terms of dropping. It's gone from somewhere to... it's not necessarily the worst song out there, but to me it's dropped more than anything else to a point of... I kind of said it wouldn't get through, but definitely not getting through now. It's first up, and that's what you're going to produce.
Yeah.
And I think there's some genuine vocal issues, not what... And I think this needed a good vocal to get it through. There's just nothing to talk about with it.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing.
Even when we just reviewed the songs, we were saying this is a little bit forgettable, and they haven't brought anything memorable to the staging.
No.
So it's still in the forgettable
Put her back
column.
in that... Get that swing out.
Get the birdcage swing.
Get
the cocky cage swing thing going.
Swing it through the air. Just do it. Do something. Shoot her out of that glitter cannon from Romania.
Romania's glitter cannon.
I don't know. We need something.
Something. It definitely...
just wake us up. Like, God, that's going to be our first song at 5 a.m. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Help us.
But trust me, by 5:06, we would have forgotten it.
Yeah. Well, on to another positive.
Yes.
And this one I've chosen. You weren't so big about putting this into the hits.
Yeah.
This is our last hit. We've just done 5. And it's the Netherlands. And the reason I'm put this in is because we always knew they had a good vocal. And look, yes, I don't think the staging is necessarily, oh my God, look at it, it's fantastic. They look really good. They've done a little bit of movement in the fact that they come together. I think their camera shots look really good so far. And their vocals are so good. And why I'm putting this as a hit in is because I think people beforehand who may not have heard some of their live acts have heard it now and gone, holy moly, they're really good. And this has moved into the top 10 of betting. This wasn't even considered to make the final at one stage. So there's no way we couldn't put this in the top 5 of a hit. It's been a hit of the week. It might not be... I don't think we're shocked by it being how it is. Yeah. We're not like totally overwhelmed with how good the staging is, but I think it's going to do well. And I think the fans have caught on to it.
Yeah, look, I agree with you. It's definitely got some attention, and it's certainly grabbed people's attention. Personally, though, if you didn't know they could sing, you weren't following along very closely. These girls were obviously going to smash the vocal, and their vocal is their high point. I still find the staging quite meh, really. It's just basically, they move for maybe 5 seconds, but apart from that, it's 3 girls in a line singing beautiful harmonies. Having said that, it still works. They can emote the song. Look, I mean, I knew it was going to be strong.
They have chemistry.
They do. But I don't know if it really shows in that performance, particularly when for 95% of it, they're just sort of all staring at the camera or whatever.
So I know I refer to common Lynette's all the time, but
No, they looked into each other's eyes.
Yeah, okay.
No, this. I think it's great. I mean, I love the song, and I still think it's going to get through. I mean, it's obviously going to get through now. I think, but I just think they could have done a bit more with it. I think it's a bit unimaginative.
Okay, that's interesting. Why do you think the fans have gone suddenly, ape for it?
Well, I don't know really, because if you didn't know they could sing, then what the hell have you been listening to for the last 2 months?
And we'll touch on that with Finland in a little bit.
Pretty obvious that these guys were going to be good vocally.
Well, the Dutch are excited,
and so they should be. This is a really good, strong entry. A really, really good, strong entry. And I think it's better than Doe and Bob. Definitely.
Oh, God, yeah.
Definitely.
Well, they came 11th
Even
last
though
year.
I preferred his staging, it was more elaborate or whatever.
Oh, even though that stop in the middle?
I just wish the team could have done a bit more with it and been a bit more imaginative with it. That's all.
What about, do you like their dresses at least?
Yeah.
I can't get anything positive out of you on this
they're
one.
good. I really like them. I don't know.
I know what you mean. Like, for you it wasn't a hit of the week, but for everybody else it really was. I get it.
Everybody needs to take more notice of what's going on.
Okay, well, you've all been told. And our final miss, which is disappointing because we're both big fans of the song, is Israel, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, look, definitely, I think I suggested this one to be a bit of a miss because I really do like the song. It's one of my favourite up-tempo songs of the whole thing. It's closing semi-final 2. But number 1, and it can't be ignored, he's got vocal issues. And it's not a mixing issue. It's an Imri issue. It is. When he's hitting these high notes, he's not getting anywhere near them. And I believe the big camera shot is when he hits the high note is him close up. So everyone's just going to go, mate, you can't sing it. Like, what are you doing? And to be honest, the whole thing's basic and underwhelming. Like, here's a song you could really bring a party to.
Yeah. And
they haven't even made fairy bread or anything. This is no party.
True. And I always kind of refer back to Golden Boy a little bit on this because I feel, even though they're not this, I know you hate it, but these Golden Boy, I think, had a worse song, brought it a party atmosphere to that song.
Yes.
It was fun. It was really fun and really infectious and you really wanted to party along with him. He didn't have the greatest vocals in the world, but you kind of forgave it because you're like, this is just fun. This is great. This is awesome. Well, with Imri, unfortunately, I think it's a bit like, oh, is that the staging? Oh, and your vocals are a bit off. Oh, what are you giving us?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
And I really wanted to do well because it's a great song.
And look, he's a good-looking fella and he's going to appeal to people, but even I find him a little just uninspiring, to be honest.
Out of the male axis here about charisma, there's been, I think Austria's been Nathan Trent's been fantastic.
Yes.
Isaiah's been great. Christian from Bulgaria's been fantastic. And I know what you mean. He's a little bit.
He's a little sort of. Yeah, I don't know. There's something lacking. There's something very flat with the whole thing.
Flat. That's a perfect word for it because there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
Well, other than what we just said, but with him and stuff. But there's just no energy or something.
I just wanted more. Yeah. I wanted more. The song deserves more.
Yeah,
that's what I reckon.
I do agree with you. So, well, we've done our top 5 hits and misses, but there's a couple of songs we'll have a really quick
notable mentions,
a little footnote too, and I think some of the big ones we have to talk about. Let's maybe really a couple of quick points on 2 of our favourites, or 2 of the favourites, Bulgaria and Portugal.
Bulgaria. Well, I'll start with Bulgaria and Christian. I can see the concept and the modern sort of thing they're really going for here. Obviously, they've only had a couple of run-throughs and it's probably not all coming together yet. He also has got some vocal issues there, so he's got to smooth that out. But yes, yet to be convinced, but like where it's heading.
It's definitely a thumbs up in terms of he hasn't dropped. I know Portugal's gone in front of him in the odds, but I think overall it looks like it's going to be good. So I think he's staying up there. It's been good.
Yep.
I think on the Portugal side of thing, that you didn't know what they were going to do with that staging, but I think it really works well. You're really quite passionate about the approach they've taken with the. What do you call that stage?
It's the satellite stage.
Satellite. I was going to call it an island.
They're pretty much the only act that is using that for the entirety of the act. So it's going to put him out in the middle of the fans. This is an intimate song. This is and they're going to have an intimacy with it. The actual projections and everything is just going to be some sort of background thing, really.
It's all going to be about him.
It's all going to be
just
about
like
him
his
and the
national
song,
final, as it should.
And that's what's compelling about the song. Yep. Him and the song.
I think as long as the background and the look was good and not bad, to be very simplistic, then it was going to be okay for them. And that's where they've risen, because I think people are like, oh, what are they going to do? I'm not sure about using green lighting at stages, but hey, let's see what it looks like. We haven't, we haven't seen him on there.
Yes, exactly.
It's obviously
even
his
got
sister.
To the stage yet. So, but look, for me personally, I like the intimacy of it, and that's what makes the song. So I like the approach.
Yeah, indeed. And I think a couple of the other nice little wins for the week have been Austria and Ireland, using staging quite well, I thought.
Yeah, definitely Austria. I think his concept is really, really good.
Yeah.
And not only that, he really sells it.
Yeah.
He sells it through him. He's, we were talking about his personality in the reviews, and it's coming through the screen.
It's coming through the screen.
Really, really is.
And what about Ireland?
Ireland, I mean, obviously we bagged out the song pretty badly when we reviewed it, and I'm still not a massive fan of the song, but I like the concept of his staging, the balloon and all that sort of thing. It just, again, a bit similar to Belarus, it makes the stage smaller for him, so he can now fill the screen and fill the stage. And yeah, there's vocal issues. Wow, there is, particularly on the high note.
I think it's improved from that live performance he did in Ireland, which was awful.
Yeah.
And this is slightly improved.
It's definitely
so there's
lifted.
still hope.
It's lifted, and he really comes across well through the camera as well. I think he's going to be liked.
The grannies and mums are out there are going to like him.
Totally.
Yeah. Both of those ones, they're a little bit cheesy though, aren't they?
They are.
Like the hot air balloon and the moon, the DreamWorks.
Yeah, the DreamWorks.
Is it too cheesy?
It's Eurovision. Cheese is good. we just wrapped up Romania, and I mean, look, that's...
But that's different in a way, I guess.
Yeah, that's just cheese.
That's just like on steroids.
Wrapped in cheese, deep fried in cheese, with cheese sauce.
Yeah.
That's somehow it works. Now, look, I think both Austria and Ireland... I don't know if they're automatic qualifiers. I think they're still sort of on the cusp, but they've certainly lifted their chances.
Their chances have improved, and I think that's the main thing. And the last one we'll talk about, which has been an interesting one for us, is that there's been a lot of love and carry-on this week about Finland. And when they came out and just did their national final performance, which we love.
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
But we were kind of confused about why people suddenly discovered this.
Again, I get a bit frustrated. Like, it's a bit like the Netherlands thing for me. What did you think Finland was going to do? What did you think? How did you not know they were going to be good?
Yeah.
Of course they were going to be good. Look, for me, I think I've put it in the okay column because I knew exactly what to expect, and they deliver it. It's still high quality, high quality, and they certainly deserve plaudits. But yeah, it's not blowing my socks off. They haven't done anything particularly eye-catching.
No,
but it works for the song.
It works for the song, and I think it's good for us. It just keeps steady. It hasn't gone up or down because it's the same thing, and it was a good performance in the first place.
Yeah.
So it hasn't dropped. They haven't tried to change anything because you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we've seen a few acts that have come out and basically just enhanced their national final performance, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, particularly if it works. And for Finland, this simplicity, like Portugal, works. Yeah. Keep it simple. Let the song and the performance speak for itself.
Now, I've forgotten someone because she's a little bit forgettable that you mentioned as a bit of a footnote. Tamara.
Oh, yeah. Tamara.
You know what? It's been an improvement, but it's still forgettable.
I'm actually liking what I'm seeing from Tamara. I like, first of all, this dress is stunning. She's great. I like the whole colour scheme of the stage and everything. This isn't a great song by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm going to be controversial here, and Dale might leap over the desk and smack me one. I think she's gone ahead of Albania. I really think this performance is lifting her above Lindita, and prior to the competition, I would have said Lindita had her covered. I'm not so sure.
All I'll say, you know what? That's one of my favourite head-to-heads of the whole thing. It's those two because they're back-to-back. They've kind of got
Australia wedged in between.
Are they?
Yeah.
I thought we were...
No, only the rehearsal schedule they swapped.
Oh, God. They keep swapping that twice, Albania and Australia.
Because Sasha.
Oh, Sasha. You know what, girl?
Sasha syndrome.
Stop messing me around. Anyway, we're wedged between the two.
Yeah.
And you and I are wedged in disagreement here. Yeah. Because I think Albania's still better. I like it more. I think it's going to wow over the top of it. But I will give it to old Taco. She has improved remarkably.
Yep.
And not without a smidgen of a chance before when she had no chance at all.
I totally agree with you.
But there we go. We've reviewed our winners and losers and our ups and downs, or our hits and misses, whatever you want to call it,
yes.
from the rehearsals.
We're definitely enjoying seeing the rehearsals and seeing the songs come to life.
Yeah.
Because we've been listening to these songs for a few weeks now. So
and the coverage coming out of Kiev has been fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
Kiev.
Kyiv.
Yes.
It's really good to see, and we're getting a lot of content to look at. So
Indeed.
yeah, so we're days away from the final,
and we haven't obviously
semi-final.
seen enough of the other 6.
Yes.
Obviously, Lucy's come out and been quite positive.
Yes.
Everyone's loving it so far, but I think we need to see more before we go. Yeah, that's amazing because she has borrowed Valentina's clam from maybe, but the gold sparkles look good. But let's wait and see.
Really promising.
I don't want to go over the top. I hope they do well.
It looks very, very good.
But it looks promising. Anyway,
okay.
done and dusted.
Done and dusted. I guess we'll have a bit of a chat sometime before the
We'll talk about something.
semi-final.
Hello,
Yeah.
it's Eurovision week. We're going to talk loads.
We're only 2 days away from the semi-finals.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening.
All right. See ya.
See ya.